This might be the quickest BMW I've driven to date, and that's saying a lot considering I've owned quite a few BMWs and I've driven quite a few high-performance BMWs as well, but this M60 i4 just hits different. Let's go to launch mode. Control active, it's shaking. Oh my goodness. Wow. This thing is quick. Now BMW says 0 to 100K in 3.7 seconds. I've done quite a few launches and I'm pretty sure that I've actually done it quicker than that. It's unofficial though, I'm just using a stopwatch. But not only does it have lightning quick acceleration off the line, which most EVs do, let's face it, but it's how the power is delivered. You have all-wheel drive with this xDrive, but it's not just the acceleration, it's the sustained acceleration. Right now we're doing 60K. If I punch it right now, okay, that's to over 100 that quick, and it's pretty well the same acceleration even from if you want to go 80 to 120K. It is lightning quick. This M60 is something else. Now this is a little bit different of a review because a lot of reviewers are comparing this M60 to the M50, which this replaces. There's not a lot of difference other than this has a little bit more horsepower, about 50 more horsepower. So that's always a good thing. More horsepower is good. Almost 600 horsepower on this vehicle, yeah. And I didn't drive the 50, I drove the 40, which, there's a big difference between the 40 and I'm gonna say the 50 and the 60 for sure. But yeah, so this is the i4 M60. Let's go. Man, oh man. Now here's where BMW still separates itself. Making an EV fast isn't that difficult anymore. You got batteries and powerful electric motors, but making one feel like a BMW, that's a little bit harder, and I think BMW has done a fantastic job here. This car still feels connected, the steering is precise, the chassis feels very, very planted, the body control is good, the adaptive suspension does a great job balancing comfort and performance, and despite carrying a very heavy battery pack underneath, this thing just doesn't feel like a big EV blob. It's a proper sports sedan, and that's what I've said from the beginning when I first drove the i4. I like it. I really like that. BMW makes a very good EV, even when it's not on a dedicated EV platform, like perhaps like on their iX3 coming out or their iX series. When you're dealing with a hybrid gas powertrain and converting it, they do a very, very good job. Now, if you want to compare it to one of my favorite cars I've owned, which was my 335 Xi Coupe with a 6-speed manual, is it the same? Absolutely not. It doesn't have that silky inline-six soundtrack. You're not gonna roll your own gears through the 6-speed manual transmission, but it still, once again, as I mentioned, has BMW DNA, and you can feel it. Another thing that I really like, it's the size and the fact that this is a car. Not every vehicle needs to be an SUV, whether it's small or large. In fact, after spending so much time in crossovers and everything, this is so refreshing. You sit lower, you feel more connected to the road, the center of gravity is lower. It's just so much more engaging. And then you forget about the actual joy of driving sometimes when you're driving these large SUV appliances. But you know what? This still has practicality. With the Grand Coupe design, you get the big hatch that opens up, easy to load things in and out. I did a large Costco shop there just to prove that. But it's still compact enough to give you that sporty feel when vehicles are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger again. It just reminds me why I loved my 3 Series and the 3 Series in general. But lately, they've just gotten bigger and bigger. In case you're wondering, why are some of these images that I'm showing not this beautiful blue i4? It's because I'm the only one filming. I don't have anyone to help on this review, so I can't film and drive at the same time. Not yet. Maybe a couple of drone shots here and there, but that's about it. So please forgive me. Now the inside of this i4 is exactly what you'd expect from a premium BMW. The fit and finish are excellent. I've said that before. BMW is very good at interiors, great materials, good contrast of different type of materials. Everything's very solid. It feels expensive, and that's what you should have. The seats are very supportive and comfortable. The displays are crisp, and you know what? The technology is excellent. BMW continues to do a great job of blending modern digital features without making everything overcomplicated. There are certainly flashier interiors out there, but to me, this just works. You get wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I really like this M steering wheel. You got that nice colored stitching on here, the centering mark there as well. Even the controls for the vents. You know, so something as simple as that. You have these joysticks, they're so easy to use. Everything is all within your grasp. I can just turn off by twisting or just adjust however. I don't have to go through menus or anything to actually adjust my climate control. I absolutely love that. You do get a Harman Kardon audio system, and even in my 2008 335xi, that had a Harman Kardon system. They are really, really good. Great sounding system. I know this is not an audio review, but you know what? They do a great job on that. So BMW really understands how to build an interior, and it feels premium years down the road as well. Okay, one thing I have to criticize on this vehicle, there's not a lot, but this is equipped with the 360 camera. We mentioned that, but I just don't find the image really that accurate, especially for the rear camera. 360 is okay, but the rear camera is really skewed. And for someone that backs up a lot of times into tight spots, like in my garage, we've got a lot of crap in there. It's like, it doesn't give you the most confidence to know where your sides are. So it's just not that accurate, that's all. Now, if silence isn't your thing, you can actually turn on iconic sounds as well. You know what, I'm not a big fan of it, but it does add something to it. All depends on your mood, I guess. So I just want to show it to you right now. You can hear it in the background just a little bit right now. I'm not sure if you can hear that. Okay, there's this kind of a little bit of a whir, but if we just come right to a stop, okay, go into launch control and launch. Ooh. We just went into hyperspace in no time. I can't even do that anymore because this is gonna make me sick. This almost reminds me a lot of the Porsche Taycan Turbo S that we tested before. Just that blinding acceleration, seriously, it pushes the blood to the back of your head. And if you're prone to motion sickness, which sometimes I am, yeah, it's not something you wanna do. Definitely easier as the driver. As a passenger, count me out on that for sure. Now, this i4 is based off of BMW's older platform, which is shared with the BMW 4 Series, which I think is why I like it so much, because you kind of get the best of both worlds. However, there is a new platform coming. It's called the New Class, or Neue Klasse in German, which will likely mean this i4 will be replaced by the new i3, which will provide 800-volt architecture, which will give it more efficiency. It'll have faster charging and longer range. But will the new car carry the same conservative styling and more traditional switchgear like this i4? Probably not. So instead of being sad, let's celebrate this i4 for what it is, and that is, it's a premium sports sedan that will, it'll bring a smile to your face. Yeah, it doesn't have the same type of sound as the gasoline variants, but it really brings something to the table. And it'll be really interesting to see what this new class of BMW will be like. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you in the next Everyday Review. Ciao.